Hey, good Sunday evening to you, people. How's it going tonight? Wanted to sort of regroup here and I guess kind of hit the reset button on a lot of this prepping talk and advice and strategy and this and that. Um, we need to be thinking about, at least 3 to 6 months ahead of what's upon us right now. A lot of us just went through this winter ice event, power outage event, water outage event, and tell you what, some people had it a hell of a lot worse than others. Um, you know, the people that prepped had a pretty good shot at getting through that thing fairly unscathed. Not going to say it wasn't uncomfortable for most, which it was, myself included, but we got a lot of things cranking right now. So just take Texas, for example. We've got this issue down on the border where the federal government is encouraging illegal entry into this country by people that are sick. So I don't know if it's a retribution thing for Texas and these southern states that did what they did regarding the election, or if it's just ineptitude, or if it's stupidity, or maybe a combination of the three. But it's got serious ramifications for us down here that share a border with Mexico. And it's eventually going to have an impact on everybody because they're shipping them everywhere apparently. But we've got some serious issues alone with that. And then we had all these winter events go down and utility issues because of, again, ineptitude on the behalf of some people in charge and the stupidity and greed of others. Again, probably a combination of the three. But nevertheless, here we are, we the people, are usually the ones that get stuck holding the bag, as usual. So really all we can do is try to prep ahead and have a better chance of getting through something than not if you weren't prepped, so to speak. So I would try to really encourage everybody to try to think 3 to 6 months ahead of what's going on. We got plenty going on right now, but just think of the things that are coming up. You got likelihood of more droughts out west. You've got the and then after that, summertime, you're going to have the hurricane season crank up again. And so there's been enough of these things that have happened, nationwide, where we all ought to be pretty savvy when it comes to getting ourselves prepped. So again, this forward thinking, 3 to 6 months ahead, I think gives you a chance to have a well-rounded approach to what the likelihood of a disaster and the type of disaster or chaos can be at that particular moment going forward. Of course, people that live in hurricane zones, they know all too well, what that's all about, of course. And hurricane people are really good sources for prepping and, how to generate power and doing water and all that jazz. But as far as my video today, I really want to talk about sort of just reconstituting everything that you may have burned through during this last event. Or maybe you had something else happen. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you're having to use your preps to get through a hard time like that. I mean, thank God some people prep, because some people wouldn't have anything to eat, I think, if they didn't right now. But let's reconstitute those preps that we went through. Let's fill those holes back up. It's a good time to rotate things. Get those hard to find items now. As things start to level out a little bit from this storm, and I'm not saying they are, I'm just saying as they start to, you need to start refilling those items that are hard to find, or maybe you weren't able to find before. You sort of have to keep looking all the time, unfortunately. That's just the way it is, I think. And I think this is going to be a pattern going forward. And I'll get to why I think that in a minute. And another one that I know was huge down here, and I've mentioned it a lot of times in my videos before this ice event ever happened, and that was the access to fuel. Man, I'm telling you, for about 3 days, it was insane with regards to gasoline and diesel being out, or damn near out. Refill those fuel cans now. If you've got empty gas cans or fuel cans or propane bottles, go get them filled now. I think you should always have at least 20 gallons of fuel for your vehicle at your home. Not in your home, but at your home. Maybe in the garage or in a shed out back, something like that. Not in your house where you dwell. And then propane bottles as well, the grill type. And then methods to, use that, like a gas-fired stove or a heater or a grill. But we got to refill those fuels now. Okay? If you get some, gas cans and fill them full of gas, make sure you get some of that Sta-Bil fuel additive to make it last, a year or longer. I had some fuel from 2016 that I had not rotated yet, and ran it through a vehicle with some other, some good fuel, about 5 to 10 gallons at a time, and it did well. It did fine. I had that Sta-Bil in it, and it did well. It didn't have any issues. So it might have been because I mixed it with some other good fuel, but I don't know. But the point is that it seemed to work out okay. It's a little long to be waiting for that stuff, but I try to rotate it every year or two at the most, if I were you. Another one is grab some cash. People keep harping on it. Grab cash, because there were stores in our area that for about a 3 or 4 day pass there, we're not taking anything but cash. It's just the way it was. And so I guess the main point that I'm wanting to get to, I mentioned a minute ago, was that we're going to have more trouble from either a disaster, natural and man-made. We're going to have more trouble ahead. See, because the government needs chaos. They need trouble. They need chaos. They need disruption. They need things to be unpleasant, because that makes their value go up, because we're in need then. We're needy at that point. Not us as preppers, but the general population that doesn't have a clue. The sheep, the snowflakes, they're needy. They're going to be needy. And this democratic controlled government They need chaos. That's just the way it is. Now, I'm not saying there's not some sorry Republicans or conservatives in there too. There is. But in order for government to fulfill its, you know, oath to the people, they need chaos and they need to be relevant. And the way they stay relevant is to have power over us and to be our provider. Well, like many of you, I have no interest in that. And, you know, if we're going to stay a free people, we're going to have to create that freedom on our own. And yes, it's a lot easier to just hold your hands out and say, give me, feed me, clothe me, whatever the case might be. It's a lot easier, but that's not freedom. And I know a lot of you people feel the same way as I do. But I really learned a lot with this last event, and I consider myself pretty savvy and fairly well prepared, and I learned quite a bit, and that was good. Like I said, real-time events are the best training aid you're ever going to get, because it tests your preps, it tests your skills, it sort of ties everything in together to see what you're made of and see how well you've done. So anyway, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I appreciate you guys watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate the interaction. Thanks to all my subscribers. With that, keep prepping, stack it deep, and long live the Republic.